Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. I'm your host, Dr. Kojo, and we have a very exciting topic. I say it every day because every day we have an exciting topic. But we're going to be talking about body dysmorphia in social media. You know, the proper term is body dysmorphic disorder. You know, but I use body dysmorphia so because I feel like people understand that a little bit better. You know, so it's going to be a good topic. I want to get into it. Crystal, let's get into it. But as you know, the way we start our live, I need to know where you all are checking in from. My name is Kojo. I'm checking in from Los Angeles, California. We have Lucinda from Orlando, Florida. Okay, we got Dylan from Missouri. Dylan, what's going on? How you doing? Yes, I did have a good day today. An interesting day, too. Quite interesting day. Hall County, Georgia. Hall County, stand up. Quebec. Orlando. Iowa. Murfreesboro, Illinois. Okay. I know we have Murfreesboro in Tennessee. Let's see. What is this? Texas. Cartersville, Georgia. Greensboro, New Brunswick. Ocala, Florida. Cincinnati. Somebody from Savannah, Georgia. Ackworth. I used to live in Ackworth. Georgia. Cobb County, shout out. Dallas. Sanford, Florida. Shout out to my Florida people. Fulton, California. Pennsylvania. What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing tonight? So we have a very exciting topic, and you know we're going to be talking about body dysmorphic disorder, right? That's a proper term, you know. Body dysmorphic disorder is a proper term, and you know I think people say body dysmorphia because it's it rolls off the tongue easier, right? Body dysmorphia, and I think more people understand what that means. So you know when we talk about body dysmorphic disorder, we're going to talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to talk about social media's impact. And we also have some news coming from the White House in regards to mental health. I want to get the exact. I want to make sure that I'm talking about the proper thing. I want to, you know, I don't know too much about politics, so I need to make sure that I'm, you know, giving you all the correct information, right? The correct information. I do see here that Biden, State of the Union address. We need good mental health. Okay, yeah. So it looks like he unveiled. What did the president do? You know, he talked. The president spoke recently, and you know, he talked about a couple of different things. Mental health in kids was one of them. Access to mental health care for all Americans and supporting veterans. All that stuff is very important. And I'm just sitting here as a, you know. Not just, right? But I'm out here making my videos, doing my dances and doing my raps. And I don't know how I'm going to get to the Capitol. But I feel like if I were called upon, I would know a thing or two, right? I feel like with mental health, the outcomes have been, you know, getting worse over and over, you know, over time. So when you talk about, you know, mental health for kids or even for all Americans and, you know, things that affect everyday people, you know, the relationship between you in your body is one thing that I've seen, especially in the pandemic, right? You know, people putting on, you know, a little bit of weight here and there, you know, the gyms being closed. You know, I would really want to zone in on that and talk about how it feels to not like your body, right? And to look in the mirror and not like what you see and what we can do about that. I definitely want to get into that, right? So looking here at the comments. Tanya, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tanya. A lot of love. Anytime I look at the comment section, there's a lot of love from a lot of people who, you know, in another universe would be strangers. But if y'all are here, you're part of my family. So I definitely appreciate you all for your you know, the attention. Tizzy, wow, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep bringing awareness and trying our best to get to the root of these issues, right? So we're talking about body dysmorphic disorder, right? And when you talk about body dysmorphic disorder, I'm reading from the Johns Hopkins website. I like how they put things out. It's like easy to understand, right? So I'm going to read what is body dysmorphic disorder, right? For the person who doesn't know, right? Um, Coming from Johns Hopkins, body dysmorphic disorder is a mental health problem. If you have BDD, you may be so upset about the appearance of your body that it gets in the way of your ability to live normally, right? Check that part out, right? So let's just say I don't like my hand, right? If I don't like my hand, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't like my hand, but I'm gonna like keep living without any impairment. Then it's probably not a disorder, right? But by dysmorphic disorder is a mental health problem. You may get so upset about your appearance that it gets in the way of your ability to live normally. Many of us have what we think are flaws in our appearance, but if you have BDD, your reaction to this flaw may become overwhelming. You may find that negative thoughts about your body are hard to control. You may even spend hours each day worrying about how you look. Your thinking can become so negative and persistent. You may think about suicide at times, right? And um, we haven't had that conversation on live about suicidal ideation and the levels to it. But that's something that we have to talk about. And I don't want people to get scared when they hear a term like suicide, but more so just think about, okay, like this is, something that people, something that happens to a lot of people, right? So what things can we do to be preemptive to, make an impact before people start to think, about that as an option, right? But when it comes to body dysmorphic disorder, the cause right here, according to Johns Hopkins, the cause of BDD is thought to be a combination of environmental, psychological, and biological factors. Bullying or teasing may create or foster the feelings of inadequacy, shame, and fear of ridicule. I want to key in on the shame right there. The shame is huge. Shame is huge, and shame prevents people from being their most authentic self. But shame, shame is something. We talk about mental health, like the stigma. The shame is what prevents a lot of people from speaking up and getting help, right? So we'll talk about that. And a couple of the risk factors for body dysmorphic disorder: personality type, life experiences, abnormal levels of brain chemicals, a family history of BDD or similar mental disorder, right? And what are the symptoms, right? I know you all might ask. Constantly checking yourself in the mirror, avoiding mirrors, trying to hide your body part under a hat, scarf, or makeup, constantly exercising or grooming, constantly comparing yourself with others, right? We're going to get back to the constantly comparing yourself with others part, right? Just make a mental note of that. Always asking other people whether you look okay, not believing other people when they say you look fine, avoiding social activities, not going out of the house, especially in the daytime, seeing many healthcare providers about your appearance, having unnecessary plastic surgeries, picking at your skin with fingers or tweezers, feeling anxious, depressed, or ashamed. These are potential symptoms, right, of body dysmorphic disorder or body dysmorphia, if that makes it easier for you all to understand it, right? And a couple of things stick out to me, right? The first one that sticks out is right here, constantly comparing yourself with others, right? Constantly comparing yourself with others, right? And the other one that really sticks out is avoiding social activities, right? When it comes to like, at least for me, like clinically speaking, when I've talked to patients who are really struggling with their body image, it does affect them on this level to where it's going to be hard to go outside and do things, right? Or maybe it's summertime and you don't like the way your knees look, or you may want to wear pants, when it's hot outside, you don't like shorts, or you might want to wear a hoodie, to the gym because you don't want people to see like your arms aren't big enough, or so many different things that can be going on here. And when it comes to social media, not to say social media causes these issues. I don't want y'all to. That's not the takeaway point from this. Please do not. Please don't watch this, right? And be like, oh, Coder said social media causes this. It doesn't, right? But as you see with some of these different apps, they get, the media will say, hey, this app is, under fire, blah blah blah. Is it helping or is it hurting the kids, right? And then when it comes to constantly comparing yourself with others, I think that's the part right there that it gets me. And y'all leaving some really good comments in there. I'm gonna get to you all feedback in a second, but the comparing yourself with others part, right? When you go on, any app, right, social media, right? I actually right here, I'm a part of the problem. Like I got an iPhone. I'm just snitching myself right here. I got an iPhone I guess it's an iPhone SE. So I got one iPhone SE, got an iPhone 12, and I got an iPhone 13, and I have another iPhone somewhere else in the iPad, right? So I'm super plugged in, and I gotta find a way to not be so plugged in, right? Because I have assistants who can help me not be on my phone as much. But we have so many, apps. We have access to so much information, at our fingertips, right? So if you go online, you go on an app. I don't want to call out any specific app, because I don't want to name an app and say, oh, this app is causing, mental health issues, right? But you go on all these apps, right? And you look at a picture or you look at a video and you type in wellness, lifestyle, gym, motivation, you'll see people who look better than you, who are dating people that look better than who you're dating, right? That are living in houses that look better than the house that you live in. And while you're working your job, right, you're working long hours, 40, 50, 60 hours, they are chilling on the beach, on a random Tuesday at 1 p.m., right? So you may compare yourself to people and say, oh, wow, like I feel so bad. Like I don't like my life. Like I don't look the way I want to look, and people look great. And, things are happening for other people and they're not happening for me. And that's the social media trap I think we can all fall into, right? When you're looking online and you see that they look good, people are healthy, and you might not like your body. So especially when you talk about, maybe disordered eating or any type of, self-esteem issue, anything that has to do with you and the relationship with your body, I always like to break it down, and I like to ask people, like, whose opinion of you do you really care about? What things do you look at online? What type of things do the people who are around you say to you about you? Like if you're not using positive self-talk, the negative thoughts are going to come and overwhelm you, and it's going to be hard to get back on track. So there's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I'm maybe 15 pounds overweight. I want to drop 15 pounds by July and have a hot girl summer, right? Or whatever you call it nowadays, right? Um, but if you want to lose 15 pounds by July, that's fine. But you have to figure out new and different ways to do your best. It would be helpful to do your best to enjoy the body that you have at the moment, right? And I stitched in my video. I dropped it here on Facebook, and I posted on TikTok as well. And it was the video of the lady who had like she was using a marker to like draw out, like I'm not sure what she was doing, but it looks like she was insecure about her body, right? But she had like a marker. I need my Titans pin right here. Shout out to my Titans. All right, either way, I don't know how to do it. But she would take the marker and like she would like draw like something, like I think she was like measuring something out, but you could tell she wasn't comfortable in her own skin. And I reposted it. I stitched it, and I tried to leave an encouraging message. Then I had somebody comment on this video, and then I assume it was a guy. It looked like a male's profile picture. He said something along the lines of, "Oh, so you promote unhealthy lifestyles? You just lost a follower." And I didn't reply to it. I don't like to get into beef or whatever. Like, he can have that. But my thing is, I'm not promoting unhealthy lifestyles. If I'm supporting somebody who is 15 pounds overweight, just to say 15, right? Because that's the number that came in my head. I'm not saying, oh, stay there at that weight, right? It's about meeting that person, where they're at, and saying, all right, what are your goals? What are we working towards? What's going to make you feel 10% better, right? I'm not telling you, like, lose weight. Like, I already know how things work on the medical side of things. I already know about hypertension and high cholesterol and the benefits of exercise, the benefits of being in, like, I already know that stuff, right? But at that moment, you don't, like, if somebody is struggling with their, how they look, that's not the time to be like, oh, well, by the way, did you know that you have to have this many minutes of aerobic exercise every week? And did you know that if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're going to keep, like, that's not the time to be talking about that, right? So, obviously this person, I don't know what type of time they were on. They came and left this comment and they went on about their life. And sometimes I'll check somebody's profile after they say, nah, I'm gonna unfollow. I might check their profile to see if they still follow. And 80% of the time, they still follow me anyway. So I'm like, I don't know why they wanted to sound off. But you have to meet people where they're at. And a funny thing has happened with a lot of friends a lot of family members, a lot of patients I've seen who have lost weight. I've seen people drop 30, 60, 80, 100 pounds. I've seen people go from, where they didn't like, the weight that they didn't want to like their exact body type. And sometimes there's still issues with like, loving yourself, putting boundaries in place, standing up for yourself. So just dropping the weight, right? Or maybe if you're a guy or a girl who wants to bulk up, maybe putting on some weight and gaining muscle, that doesn't really fix everything inside, right? So you start the work, you start the inner work initially, and over time we get better. I tell my patients, get 10% better every time, right? Every appointment, let's get like a little bit better. Let's climb up the ladder, and hopefully we can feel better, right? And I saw somebody earlier who said something in the chat along the lines of they unfollow people who make them feel bad about themselves, and that's something that I actually do. But I don't ever think that I follow people who made me feel bad about themselves. But like if somebody is, I don't know who I would follow, but if somebody's like constantly bragging or I don't know, like if I got a negative type of vibe from somebody, I would unfollow them. I would never repost them and say, hey guys, don't follow this person. That's between me. That's just internal work. But if I felt a way about something, so if you're somebody who, let's say you're into bodybuilding and you kind of, like you don't have like, you're not there yet. And then you go on a certain influencer's page. And every time you go on that person's page, when you get off of IG or whatever, you feel way worse about yourself to the point where, you're not leaving the house, or, like you're wearing super large hoodie. Like if it's affecting you in a negative way, not that you have to unfollow them, but maybe you might want to look into, okay, what is it about this content that doesn't make me feel so good? Can I find somebody else to replace so-and-so? So it's important to keep these things in mind. And of course, none of this is a substitute for professional medical services, right? I might have to say that every video, just that way we don't get it twisted, right? But even with that, right, sometimes you have to go back and do the work on the back end. So the answer is, go get professional help. But even then, like we got to do our own homework each and every day to make sure that the things around us, right, whether it's social media, whether it's your mom who's commenting on, how many pounds you put on at Thanksgiving every year, right? We have to make sure that we keep these things in mind, a loved one, social media, that it doesn't make us feel worse about ourselves, right? And now I'm going to go and I want to get into the comment section. I want to see what people are talking about. And let me talk about this one right here. Ryan Puckett. What if I hate the sound of my voice? This is a funny one. You know why? Because I remember growing up, we're living in Florida at this time. My dad would, use a camcorder, and he would be recording, moments like family time, right? So he was like probably the original TikToker. And I remember every time he would record something, right, and then he'd play it back on the TV, I used to cringe at the sound of my voice. I used to be like, I used to hate hearing my voice back, right? Because I got two younger brothers, but I think one of them wasn't born at that time. And Kwame, who was born, he was probably like 2 or 3, So I only had sisters. So I felt like my voice sounded like a girl's voice because I had 3 sisters around the house, right? So I would never listen to like my voice playback. But over time, you come to appreciate certain things about your voice. Maybe that, maybe the cadence of how you speak or the inflection in your tone. Maybe something is there that you have that other people don't have, right? And even well, I would say, I don't know. I kind of like hearing myself talk now, but every now and then I'll make a video and I'm like, I don't like that sound anymore. But we can always do like a little bit of work each and every day to like parts of ourselves a little bit more. Right? Say I'd rather text. Respect. And if that's what you're comfortable with, ain't nothing wrong with texting, right? Ain't nothing wrong with texting or sending a meme. So many ways to communicate nowadays. Beth, happiness is an internal job. I like that. But when we talk about happiness, I like the concept of being content, right? Like happiness is kind of like fleeting, right? Like today I was in the studio working on this new ADHD song. So I was happy because I was like all riled up and motivated. But when I wake up tomorrow and the dog is pooped in the crate, I'm not going to be happy. It might throw off my morning, right? But then I have to like keep going, and then something else happens that makes me happy. But happiness comes and goes. Ooh, a big Gary Vee fan, by the way. So I'm just gonna put that on there. I'm a big Gary Vee fan. Let's see. My priest always tells me comparison is the thief of joy, but I feel like we all compare ourselves to others, even subconsciously. I'm also my harshest critic. So, Catherine, comparison is a thief of joy, right? If you can compare yourself to somebody, let me land, and I want y'all to take this out of context. You can liken yourself to somebody. Let's say we're talking about your body, right? You can liken yourself to like, or actually, let me use myself, right? When I played football in high school, I wanted to play wide receiver, right? So, back then I was like 6'2", 6'3", like 150 pounds. So I was like super skinny. So anytime I would get hit, like it was bad. Like I remember I got hit one time, and I came home and I was in the restroom for the longest, and I may have told a story before, but my mom was like, "What's up? Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm good." But I was in the restroom, and I was like, I was using the restroom. It was like a number two, and it was like blood coming out. I felt like I was on my cycle or something. But like, yeah, like I got hit hard, and I was like super skinny. So like the guys used to be like, "Oh, Kojo, like if you work out, you can get like T.O. Terrell Owens, right, receiver for the Eagles and the 49ers, right?" So I was like, okay. I used to look at Terrell Owens' picture and like his workout routine and say, okay, like I could be like T.O., but not that I want to be like him. Or if I don't get to that, type of body, I'm going to be unhappy. But it served as a model for, okay, I'm working towards this. But you do have to be careful because if you compare, and especially if you're not taking some type of actionable steps towards a goal, it can be easy to fall into that trap where you're like, I don't like myself and I wish I looked like this, you know. And let me see, I'm trying to get Missy, I appreciate you. Shout out to Missy, wherever you're at. I'm trying to get everyone to watch you so they can understand me. Hey, yeah, I appreciate it. And I want to get as many eyes on this live show on my content as well. Someone says you dating yourself. I'm only 29. I'm not that old, T.O. And even T.O., speaking of T.O., he's in great shape. I saw him talking online about wanting to get back into football. I saw him at Venice Beach the other day. Like he still looks jacked. I'm pretty sure he could still play. He could still play. Let me see. Self-image issues. Never liked how I look. I learned to accept myself more now than when I was younger. So, Malin, is that you say Malin? Oh, this is a nice name. But I'm going to go ahead and give you the first love of the show because you learn to accept yourself more now than when you're younger. So I got to give you a love of the show. I like that. And look, keep in mind, there's certain things that we'll never be able to change, right? So I remember growing up, right? We moved from Norway to Nashville, Tennessee, and the kids would, oh man, it was brutal. The things that the kids would say. These are second graders. Second graders are rough, African booty scratcher, and then when you're dark skinned, they like if the lights went off, they'd be like, "Where's Kojo?" Or like they'd be in like another dark kid in class that like they pick on, right? And you can't change your skin color, right? So like I waste, but I never really was insecure about my skin color. Those second grade comments did hurt though, but I was never insecure that I was too dark or whatever the case may be. But you can't change your skin color, right? So I'm black and I love it. I feel like I look good. I'm chilling, and if you accept that, great. If you can't accept that, it could be a challenge because you can't change your skin color, right? You can't alter your height for the most part, right? You can't. You can wear heels here and there. As a guy, you might wear some Nikes that are like padded, right? But you can't really alter your height. You can't change your family members. There's a lot of things that you can't change, but certain things that we can change, right? We can change our weight, right? So if you want to put on weight and start lifting or lose weight, we can do these things over time, right? If you want to straighten your teeth, right? If you have the resources, you can straighten your teeth. I wore Invisalign twice. So I know all about that. And if you want to get LASIK eye surgery, you can do that. I got LASIK eye surgery as well. So LASIK, so no glasses, no contacts. I straighten my teeth. Those are things that you can do. And at least for me, in my personal experiences, that's why I'm not like against people who want to get cosmetic work done. There's nothing wrong with getting work done. I don't want you all to think that plastic surgery is a bad thing, right? Because when we're talking about the symptoms of body dysmorphic disorder, a possible symptom I mentioned was having unnecessary plastic surgeries, right? So I don't want you all to think that plastic surgery is bad, right? If you want to go get the BBL or tummy tuck or whatever work you want, nose job, Botox. I mean, the list goes on and on. Breast augmentation. Like, if you want to do that, that's none of anybody else's business. And it doesn't mean that you have a disorder, right? I find myself having to say things over and over because I don't want you all to think that, oh no, my cousin who got a BBL, hates her body. No, if you have the resources and you want to improve the way you look, sure, go ahead and do that. But as long as it's something that you want to do yourself, and that's like what you want to do, not what your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your mom or dad wanted. Those are things that I hope people are doing it for themselves, right? Res- Cindy, respect. Nobody. People will still comment about what work you got done, right? Because that's how people are. But it's none of their business. Literally, you don't have to tell them anything. Ooh, I got a good question right here. Ooh, right here from letter stuff, April Kodak. If that's your middle name, that's a pretty cool middle name. I might name. Actually, I don't know if I would name. Well, actually, I could name something Kodak. I just want to say Kodak. All right. We got a good question here from Keisha. I like this one a lot. Ooh, I like this one a lot. Ooh. What do you do about family members making comments on your weight? My Filipino grandmother has been telling me since I was a young child that I would be so pretty if I just lost weight. I'm 40, and she still says something to me every time I see her. Keisha, questions like this are why I'm grateful that I get to do this show, because real people, real questions, real conversations. So thank you first and foremost for asking this question. And I come from a foreign background as well, so we see this type of thing where you go back home and you hug your grandma and like, hey grandma, and then the first thing that she might say is like, like, if you just lost a little bit of weight, if you just slimmed up, and I like to start off with empathy, right? Because sometimes the way they grew up, I'm not saying it's right, but the way they grew up, they're accustomed to saying these things and telling people, hey, you gotta go lose weight. And people felt like their only option was to go lose weight, to be accepted. So that's how things were for the longest. And if you couldn't lose weight, or if you struggled to lose weight, you would feel worse and worse about yourself. So if you can give her grace, because she's probably coming from that school of thought where this is just how they do things, right? And then she's at that age where she might be stuck in her ways. She may not change, right? You're 40 years old now, so she was doing this 20, 30 years ago, right? So when people do this, a lot of times it's good to educate them and say, hey, so-and-so, like, these comments hurt. Like, I'd appreciate it if you didn't speak on, my weight or somebody else's weight or whatever the case may be. You should still speak up for yourself, right? So that way you're, asserting, yourself and saying, hey, I don't like this. But it may not be wise to expect that she'll change. She might be stuck in her ways. And if it gets to that point where you say, grandma, I don't like this, and she's like, lose weight, you may have to do some things for yourself that might require you spending a little less time with her. I'm not saying pull away, right? But you might want to spend a little less time with her, right? And spend more time with people who are uplifting you, because sometimes that generation just might not get it, right? But you should still educate and let her know, hey, this hurts. No, I don't appreciate this. Can you do this whatever the case may be. But coming from a foreign, household myself, this is a very difficult conversation to have. And when you're an adult, you can choose to distance yourself away from the person making this comment, but it can be especially damaging for the kid who's 13, who has to be in that household for 5 more years, right? And they're like, oh, this is a toxic household, right? So I think it's up to us to change the narrative. It's really up to us. So get some more. Joni, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, I've grown used to wearing masks. Oh, okay. The mask has made things life a lot different for us. Made it a lot different. Let me see. This is very much a cultural thing. Please try to understand it's not you. It's years and years of abuse. We rebuild for you to understand. Yeah, it's you know, and that's why I was telling y'all I have to figure out my challenge. Right? Is I mean I'm still gonna do my thing. I'm still gonna do like I'm here to stay. And I enjoy making content for you all on I'm just gonna shine. Let me get it off. I enjoy making content for y'all online, but my challenge is figuring out how to get to different communities, right? Especially the minority communities or the Latino community, my community, because there's a lot of work to do, and we're just now getting hip to mental health. Like we're years behind. We're years behind. Um, let me see. My husband's grandpa called me chubby. Husband, grandpa. Oh, that just might be that generation how they do the things, and hopefully we can push back with um, uh, positivity. You can respectfully. I like this, Beth. I completely agree. Um, all right. Okay. So there's another one right here. Do you have any tips on how to stop self criticism? I lost a lot of weight, but I can't seem to stop finding things I hate about my body. Okay. Cool. 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 So a lot of times when I say this, I like to figure out like who who are you hanging out with? What are you watching? Right. So not to say that social media is causing it, but are you watching like do you spend like hours every day on a social media platform where you're seeing like women who are like in the like the perfect dress size, who are like supermodel pretty, or are you hanging out with people who are telling you things that you don't like about yourself, and it reinforces that thought that my body's not good, blah blah blah, this that and the third. So a lot. Look, you lost the weight, so congratulations on that. If that was the intended goal, congrats on meeting the goal. But if you want to be a perfectionist, like you could always say, like you can never have a perfect body, right? And even whoever won the world's most beautiful, they have like the most attractive person in the world, right? Even that person has flaws. If you ask them, they might say, "Oh, I didn't like my ear growing up," or something. So we all have flaws, and it's about figuring out what small thing you can do to put yourself in a better position to like the things that you don't like right now about yourself. I hope I didn't say a mouthful right there. You know, so small steps. That's the answer right there. Baby steps. And I'm curious, who is the world's most beautiful person? You know, it's interesting to see what the beauty standards are. The world's most beautiful. All right, y'all. So I pulled up the list right here of the world's most beautiful people. Let me see. Echo. Yeah, Echo. I read your comment. I'm happy I was able to get to that. All right. Let me see. Elizabeth Louise, I appreciate you too. And somebody got rid of their social media, except okay. Look, Crystal, that might be your way of putting up boundaries. And if you have to look, I would, me personally, I would love for y'all to have TikTok, uh, uh, IG, Facebook, YouTube, and follow me on all the four platforms. Like I would love for y'all to see my face every single day, multiple times, right? But like I would rather you put yourself first, right? So if you have to cut back on social media to take care of yourself, that's where I really want for you. So good insight. Yep. All right, so the most beautiful person. Um. Oh, okay. All right, y'all check this out. Uh, there's a website here. I don't know if this website is official, right? So this is not official. So don't get me for misinformation, right? But according to a pop culture website, uh, lofficiel.co.uk, right? So this is a pop culture website. So this is not factual information. This is just, I would imagine, somebody's opinion, right? But according to science, Bella Hadid is the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay. Uh, and it says find out how the supermodel's face just measured for absolute symmetry. Oh wow! So they actually have a there's a method to the madness here. Like they must go off of symmetry, eye size, eyebrows, nose, lip, chin, jaw. She had 94.35 symmetry according to this. I don't know if this is legitimate. So they had Bella Hadid number one. I think she's a beautiful woman, but I don't know how to stack up. I don't know how that works. Beyonce is number two. Amber Heard is number three. I'm not sure who she is. Ariana Grande is number four. Taylor Swift is number five. Kate Moss is six. Scarlett Johansson is there's no eight. So Scarlett Johansson is eight. Natalie Portman. Oh, so Scarlett Johansson and Natalie Portman are tied for eight. Katy Perry is ninth, and 10th is Cara Delevingne. Okay, cool. So you can go online and they can have different lists about who's the most beautiful person in the world, right? So depending on uh, what you're consuming, right? This is my first time seeing this list. I don't know if it's even official, right? But if you consume things like this over and over and over, right, and you watch, carefully edit, you're taking in content that's like been heavily edited, and you're seeing these things. If you happen to struggle with how you look, it could be damaging to key in on, like, especially celebrities who have, you know, so many resources to keep their appearance up. And even then, I'm sure you can ask Bella. I don't know Bella Hadid. I'm not even sure what move. I don't know who she is, y'all. But I'm sure you might ask her, and she might have a couple of insecurities, right? So when you talk to these people, right? If you ever get a chance to talk to them or listen to an interview, you have to understand that we all have things about ourselves that we don't like. So if we can work on it, sure, let's work on it. However best we can do that. If we can't work on it, how can we best accept ourselves and recognize that regardless of how much money you have or how symmetrical your face is, your jawline, you're still somebody who's worthy of attention, love, respect, and all those things. Um, so much, yeah, so much digital content is edited. Yeah, I make videos myself, so I'm always looking at lighting here and there. So I do know that nothing is like as linear as it looks. Khadija said no person of color. No, Khadija, they had Beyonce at two on this list. Once again, this is somebody's list. Like maybe I can wake up and decide to make my own list of the top 10 most beautiful women in the world. Um, I wouldn't even bother myself with that because I wouldn't know. I couldn't stop at 10. If you can do for yourself, April, I like that. Um, the Da Vinci proportions. Okay, but you all keep in mind, like, what one person prefers may not be what somebody else prefers, right? And that's good news. That's actually good news for you all who are watching, right? And you struggle with maybe how you look and maybe the internet, you know, it's funny. It's funny for me because the internet and social media, sometimes the beauty standards shift. I remember there was a time when, like, thin women were like, oh, we love thin women. Like, the skinnier she is, we love skinny women. And then they moved to like curvy women. Curvy women are in and BBLs are in, right? So if you were on the thinner side, right, depending on the time, of social media or maybe the 90s or whatever was happening, you were in, you were like it. And then if the standards changed and they went towards curvy women, you're like, oh, dang, like, did everybody leave? Like, am I not attractive? No, it's just that sometimes a movie might come out and there's an actress or actor, or this might be the look. And even for me, as a black guy, I remember when I was in middle school, Chris Brown was doing his thing. So like we had this whole thing, like, oh, now this is the time the light skin is in, and then I think Idris Elba came on the scene, and people were like, oh, we like dark skinned men, and then what's his name, Channing Tatum came on the scene, and then everybody's like, no, like the white guys are back in. It's like everybody has their own thing, So the good thing about that is that people prefer different things. So even if you think that, oh, I don't look good, there's gonna be somebody out there who appreciates you for the way you look. And likewise, we should always be doing the inner work on ourselves to like ourselves a little bit more, right? You don't have to go from I don't like myself today, and then tomorrow, right, on Thursday, you wake up and you're like, oh, I love myself. It doesn't happen like that, right? You pick small things over time, and you figure out how best you can, you know, start to appreciate yourself more. And then somebody mentioned Megan Good. I didn't see her on the list, but I mean, Megan Good is definitely one of the top actresses in the world, and I want to be very, I want to be very careful. I want to be as objective when I'm talking about anybody online, right? Because I am in LA. I might run into Megan Good tomorrow, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't rank me," I don't know, but there's everybody has like there's always a look. You might be exactly what somebody wants, right? So I think when you're struggling with your self esteem and how you look, and if you happen to be single, it can be very difficult as you put yourself back out there. So definitely don't allow whatever's going on online to dictate like what you think is going on, right? But it's difficult, right? I remember when I was uh my first year in college. I remember or was it my second year? It was 2011. Either way, I was like either sophomore or freshman in college. This is when Wiz Khalifa came out with Black and Yellow, right? Wiz Khalifa was like the most popular person in the world for like a good 3 months, and people used to, I saw a lot of guys, they would dye like a third of their hair like gold, and at one point, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to dye my hair like Wiz Khalifa, so that shows how impressionable we can be online. So if you feel like social media is like changing how you feel about yourself, you don't have to be ashamed to be like, oh, uh, I'm so dumb because this app right here is lowering my self-esteem. You might just have to put some boundaries in place so that you can feel better about yourself. Um, Echo, I completely agree. I definitely agree with that. And let me see. And people are talking about smiles in the comments. Yeah, like you can ask my mom. Like before I got Invisalign, I was not smiling this much, right? You might ask somebody who knew Kojo, back in high school or middle school, and I didn't have these teeth, so I was not smiling as much. So fortunately for me, that's something that as I was able to get the resources, I got Invisalign. We went from there. But I can't change my height or my skin color. And certain things you can't change. So you have to love that part by yourself if you didn't love it before, right? Let me see. Let me get some more comments out here. If you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love? Okay. I don't know if RuPaul said that, but I'll give it to you there. I don't know if RuPaul said that. Oh my gosh. Oh, you put Akon with the little heart thingy on there. All right, Tara, I appreciate that. And in middle school, I would walk into the class, and I had some friends. Anytime I walk into class, they would sing that song, Akon and Young Jeezy, right? Soul Survivor. They would go, Akon and Young Jeezy, and it used to make me laugh. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm insecure about, but I got the Akon thing a lot, So if I look like Akon, I'll take it. Ayla, what's up? Ayla's OG. Ayla, what's up? Oh boy, yeah, the Akon thing. The Akon thing for sure. The Akon thing for sure. Yeah. Yeah. J Cole had a song about uh the crooked smile. Um, what's it called? What's that J Cole song called? Is it called Crooked Smile? Jake, let me check. I think yeah, Crooked Smile featuring TLC on the Born Sinner album. Yeah, and as J Cole, when J Cole released the song, I started to wear braces for the first time. So I used to love the song, but I felt guilty because now I'm singing the song, but the whole time I'm fixing my teeth. Like I'm fixing my teeth, you know. But it's actually funny because my mom would say that back in Ghana, West Africa, where we're from, that to have a gap in your teeth. I don't know if y'all can see my teeth like this, all right? But I don't have any gaps. But to have a gap in your teeth was like a beauty standard. So my mom used to tell me that back in like the 70s or 80s in Ghana. If y'all are from Ghana, maybe y'all might want to fact check this. But back in the 70s and 80s in Ghana, if you didn't have a gap in your teeth, you weren't considered to be beautiful. So women used to try and make a gap in their teeth to be beautiful. And I was like, what? Like, like I had to pay. Like, you know how much money I had to pay for Invisalign? No, definitely a couple grand. And I had to wear it twice because I didn't wear my retainers. And that's on me. And Ayla, yes, I will definitely be getting on TikTok live soon. I do miss you all on TikTok. I feel like I've been cheating on TikTok, and like TikTok is my main girlfriend, and I found this Facebook thing, and now I've been stepping out on TikTok. I love you on TikTok. I'll definitely get back on there. Also to announce the winner of the Oculus for the 2 million follower giveaway on TikTok. So I will be hopping on TikTok and just playing my guitar on there and vibing with you all. I definitely miss TikTok, so I will be y'all will be seeing me on TikTok. But yeah, a gap in the teeth. Yeah, it does sound painful, but that's how far people would go to do what they thought was like in at the moment. Akon can never. TikTok is a side. Yeah. Oh no. Much love to TikTok. Much love to TikTok. I'm still posting on TikTok all the time, but I do have to hop on TikTok live because I've been able to pick up on the fact that um like my lives, like I'm looking back for old live streams to watch, and I don't have any. I haven't been on TikTok live. I gotta hop on. Christine, right here. I have a small gap, and it was passed down from my grandpa, so I've grown to love it. Respect, respect, and you've grown to love it, and now whoever is in your life, they have to accept it, right? Like this is what it is. Yeah, I think of Michael Strahan for the Giants, and now he's on TV. The gap became a part of his look, So like, if he fixes his teeth now, I mean, I can still recognize him. But I'd be like it's not Michael Strahan, So if you can, learn to love that thing, hey, I think it can be dope. Someone says, I want to show you. I wish there was a way to do that. Darius Rucker. What about Darius Rucker? I don't think I look like. I've never ever heard anybody say I look like Darius Rucker before. Never ever. I've never heard that in my life. But I do like Wagon Wheel. It's a good song. And Catherine, the drawing just ended. I should have pushed it here a little bit too. But I know the winner already. My assistant told me the winner of the drawing, and I wish I didn't know because I like to keep it a surprise. But I know who won, so yeah. Facebook community. Ayla, yes, thank you so much. And here on Facebook, the live community is awesome. The engagement is great. It is consistent. Nothing against TikTok. I will go back to that platform, but a lot of people here who have not seen this content, so it's like another family, right? But I got a lot of families. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love. Let me see. Playing guitar. Oh yeah. Maybe I have to do that. And I was actually talking with my communications specialist, my publicist today, and we were talking about incorporating like a live music thing or having performances on this live show. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe I'll perform right here one day, right? I got my guitar in the back. So yeah, I'd love to do a performance on on Facebook. Even that's a TikTok thing though, but I love to do a performance on Facebook. Let me get some more of these comments. I haven't yet met your nothing wrong with those. Yeah, nothing wrong with those who fix their teeth. Yeah, and it's funny because I before I fixed my teeth, I didn't even like I wasn't concerned about it. My older sister, we got braces at the same time, and the like when we got our first, big boy and big girl checks. Like I'll never forget when I got my first. What I remember the down payment for Invisalign in 20 was it 13 when I started. I took my whole check, which at that time it was like I think like $1,400. Um, not to talk money on here, but I remember taking like $1,400 out to put the down payment to start the Invisalign. I know I was broke. I didn't have any money for like I felt like I was broke for like a month and a half. So I would ask, because I didn't want to ask for money, so I asked like my sister to like buy food here and there, and then I would just like keep the little money I had until like the next payday, and then until the next payday after that. But yeah, if nothing wrong with a gap, nothing wrong with if you like it, I love it straight up. Uh, Ayla for sure. I'll definitely get back on TikTok. I do miss TikTok Live though. I really miss TikTok. I could be in the bed on TikTok Live. This is a little bit more. I want the show to have a professional feel to it. I want to provide evidence based information like I always do. Right. Like I'm not gonna misinform you all, but I want the show to be like laid back. Right. Like it should feel like a conversation, kind of like this, kind of like this. Let me see DNA. All right, so it's time for a water break, y'all. What's the best tip for learning? All right, so Donald, uh, I'll answer this question, but let's go ahead and do a water break. Y'all get comfortable. Go grab your water. Oh, I got Kroger water. Okay, sure. It's funny because here in California they call it Ralph's. Um, so I haven't seen a Kroger in a long time, but Kroger and Ralph's I think they're the same thing. I think. Either way, water break, y'all. Go ahead and get a water break, and then I'm going to answer Donald's question. Water break time, water break. All right. I'll give y'all a second to get your water. All right. All right. A second has passed. Let's go ahead and get our water, y'all. Hold up. I forgot. I have to say cheers before. Cheers. All right. He's actually the Mickey. Ayla, you're making me laugh. You're making me laugh. You're making me laugh. All right. Let me get back and answer this question for Donald. All right, Donald. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate your patience. What is your best tip for learning to love ourselves? I feel like ADHD makes me my own worst critic and can keep me from being open to love. Ooh, Donald, this is a good question right here. Ooh, really good question right here. Thank you for asking this question. I really appreciate it. The best tip for learning to love ourselves, and also you threw in the ADHD component, which makes you feel like you're your own worst critic, and keeps you from being open to love, right? So Donald, I'll talk to you, right? So looks like you're not open to love, and you would like to be open to love, right? And you know that at some point, when you get back into the dating game, in order to date confidently, you're gonna want to like feel good about yourself, right? And you might hide it in the beginning, but at some point, like the lady or your partner, whoever you prefer, like the person that you're dating, they can pick up on insecurities, because people can feel energy. So it's good to do the inner work now, right? Before you open yourself to love, right? So the goal is you want to be open to love, which is good, but also as a byproduct of that, you would learn how to love yourself first, right? So Donald, I want you to find somebody, but I'm more concerned about you first, right? So you want to be more open to love, and the ADHD is making you feel like your own worst critic. So sometimes you can literally take a pen and find a notebook, do this exercise together, and you can literally write down like the things that you don't like about yourself, right? So I'm just gonna say I don't like my hair, right? I don't like my teeth. I don't like my nails. Just anything, right? And then do like true or false, true or false. Like, are those things true, about yourself, right? I don't like my hair. Like, is your hair like really like if you sit down and ask yourself, like, is my hair that bad, right? You might say, oh, yeah, my hair is bad. I don't like my hair. Maybe I have some bald spots missing. But as you think about it and as you figure out, is my hair that bad? You're going to be comparing the bad things about your hair and then the good things about your hair, right? Take the good things about your hair and focusing on that. What do you like about your hair? So challenge the negative with the positive. You don't like your nails, right? What's the good thing about your nails, right? Or whatever body part. So challenge the negative with the positive. So say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. But I after doing this exercise, I realized that, oh, I do like this part in my hair right here. I do like this hairstyle. Or when I get this haircut, it gives me a new look. It makes me feel like I'm more confident, So you have to challenge these thoughts. And also with the ADHD, it's important to keep people around you who make you feel good about yourself, right? Now, that's something that I do. I don't like people who, blow smoke up my ass just for no reason. Like, I don't want somebody to come and be like, oh, Kojo, you have 1 million followers, or you're so cool. I saw you on the billboard. Like, that's gonna make me be like, nah, Like, I want somebody who's gonna like tell me what I don't want to hear. Like, hey, Kojo, you said you were gonna do this, and you didn't do that. Let's be accountable, right? You want that, but you don't want somebody who is constantly telling you things about yourself that are not true, and you start to believe these things, right? Like, they might say, hey, and sometimes it's funny with your friends, right? It's like it's it's the slick shit, right? And sometimes people don't mean to be like, like your worst enemy, but sometimes people say things like that can kind of get to you, like, oh, bro, if you're only, 4 inches taller, like, man, like you'll be picking up a lot of chicks, right? You can't change your height, right? So what good does it make to be like, oh, bro, if you were like 6'5", like, like you'd be the man. Sometimes people don't know what they're saying, but people say these things, or, oh, man, if you lost 30 pounds, oh, bro. Now if you have a relationship with somebody to where y'all can talk back and forth and it's very, encouraging, that is good. But to have people in your corner who are constantly tearing you down, who are saying things like, man, like, maybe change your hairstyle here, or sometimes people have so many opinions, right? So you have to, it all comes back to you, right? Ground zero, like at the beginning, how do you feel about yourself, right? What do you like about yourself, and how can you highlight that, right? Maybe you're not like 6'5", 6'6", right? But you like, like I said, like you like the little part in your hair, and when you get a certain haircut, you feel confident, so you can experiment with that haircut. And as you go out and as you start to have that hairstyle, people say, oh, I like this hair on you, right? Like, focus on that. Focus on the things that you do like while you build up confidence to embrace the parts of yourself that you don't like, right? So it's kind of like a little game that you're playing, in your head. And as you become more confident, Donald, I want you to say things that would sound arrogant if you said it out loud, but say it to yourself. You don't have to say it to anybody, right? Things that if you said it out loud, it make you sound like you're arrogant and stuck up. But say those things to yourself, like, I'm confident. I look amazing. I look great. I'm gonna have a great day. Somebody who is dating me would be blessed to have somebody like me, right? If you say these things out loud, people like, who does he think he is? You be like, tell him who you are. I'm Donald, But you have to say these things to yourself. You don't have to tell it to anybody, right? You don't have to go out there and announce that I look good, I'm confident, But you say these things to yourself, and over time you believe it. And as you start to believe it, it's gonna come out in your actions, right? And you might have a bad hair day, right? Or you might have a rough summer, and instead of like being in the gym, maybe you picked up extra weight, right? And then you might not be as confident in your look, but still, even with extra weight or not being at the ideal height or not being the type of person that you think you could be, if you can be confident at that point, then as you start to take those steps to work on the things that you can change, you're gonna be a beast, bro. You're gonna be a beast. I'm telling you, you're gonna be a beast. You're gonna be a beast. Um, I'm looking here at somebody. Uh, oh, all right, Donald, follow up. It makes me feel good to go to the pro barber every 4 weeks and feel fresh. Look, this makes me realize. Look, Donald, it's a priority to look good, right? Sometimes, like, I get a lot of haircuts now because I'm making skits, I'm going to premieres. Like, I just that's just how things are in LA. So I have I groom, I take more better care of my hair now. And my sister might call me and be like, "Who are you trying to look good for?" Or I know it must be some girl out there. I'm like, "No, this is for me. Like, I want to look good. I want to look good for myself. It's a priority to look good for myself." So, Donald, I agree. And let me read the rest. Friends are tricky because it's hard to not be on the defense, but what helps here is letting people know that I really appreciate positive feedback along with the deltas. I'm starting to learn to stand up for my own happiness. Thank you. Donald, I like that. Yeah. And look, as you care less about people's opinions of you, once again, like we're talking about body dysmorphia disorder, social media, you don't have to get off of social media altogether, right? But if you're at the point where, like, anytime you open up your phone, right, the moment you open up your phone, you start to be like this. You're like, oh my gosh, these people look good. I don't look good. And like, if you look like this every time you're on social media, right? Or you're like, you're not having a good experience, right? Maybe, if you spend 3 hours a day, drop it to an hour and a half. Let's cut back on it, right? And then as you get strength and you're like, okay, I'm not as affected, then you can be on social media for, longer periods of time. And I'm not a fan of being on social media for all day anyway, but as you get stronger, you can expose yourself to more stimuli. But you want to be very careful with the things that you do take in, because they do affect how you feel about yourself, right? Positive vibes. Yeah. Positive is important. Yeah. My sister was funny. She's funny. She's funny. And Nisi says, "What if you feel like this on and off social media?" So Nisi, if if you're on social media and then you look at Bella, well, actually, let me not pick on Bella Hadid. I don't even know her, right? Or you look at some super attractive person that everybody agrees is attractive, right? If you're on social media and then watching a page makes you feel sad, and you get off of social media and you're living your life and you still don't like the way you look, and you feel like, I don't like the way I look by myself. There might be things in your environment, right? There might be things that are happening that you're not aware of that are making you feel the way you feel. So it's important to take a step back and maybe ask yourself what's helping, what's not helping, and try to put y'all on game. Try to give y'all some tips here and there. Obviously, if the right answer, which is professional help, if you do that, I do believe a good therapist, a good clinician will sit down with you, and over time they'll pick up on certain things. So that's always, you can never go wrong with professional help, right? The goal of my channel everywhere is to push people a little closer to professional help. So I think that can be very helpful. Let me see. Uh, Donald, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, little things over and over, bro. Your confidence is gonna get, bro. You can be a rock star, rock star. You can be a rock star for real. Um, and look, we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to anybody, right? You know, you can you depending on what you want to do. You can say, "Oh, I want to be like this person," or I want to do things my way and the way that Terrell Owens works out, or whatever." But you don't want to like compare yourself to somebody and say, "Oh, like I want to have their life." Um, you know, self care is important. Well, yeah, no, look, self care is important. I'm at the point where if I go out, like I remember one time when I went out to Ralph's, and I just bummed it up. I I probably didn't brush my teeth that morning. I just went to Ralph's. I forgot what I had to get. I just got some groceries. And then anytime you go out and you don't take care of your parents, you're always gonna run into somebody that you know, right? Like somebody from church or somebody from school who's like, "Hey," and they want to have a conversation with you. And I'm like, "I haven't brushed my teeth. Like my breath is hot right now. Like I don't want to stand close to you. Like my breath is funky. Like, or I'll be talking like, hey, what's wrong? Every time, like for me, every time I just bum it up. I go somewhere, I always meet somebody that I know, right? And I'm in a new city, so I don't know a lot of people here in LA like I know people back in Atlanta. But this particular day I went out, and then this lady's staring at me and she's like, "Oh, I like your videos on TikTok. They helped me out during the pandemic." I'm, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it." But I made sure to keep my, social distancing. It was because of the pandemic, but also I knew my breath was funky, so I was like, yeah, you know. So it's like every time that I don't, like take, put effort to my appearance, I'm gonna run to somebody who knows me, or that's the one day that I go out and people know who I am. And every other day I go out, if I dress well or whatever, I can walk on Melrose. I can just walk across LA and nobody knows who I am. But the one day that I don't, to, dress well and my haircut and everything, that's the one day that everybody's gonna know you, right? That's just how it is. Oh my god, it was the breath. Oh yeah, the breath. Sometimes, at least for me, like, I will get self conscious of my breath, right? If I don't brush my teeth, but that's an easy fix, right? I just go home, I just brush my teeth, right, and then I can go out there and be like, and just start, breathing everywhere. Critical, I love it. Critical cracking. So Critical is actually checking in from YouTube. I want to say something about that. I appreciate you and I appreciate your attention from YouTube. So YouTube is, you have these like the four major platforms, right? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I have all of them. Like I have at least 150,000 followers on each platform. Outside of YouTube, I have maybe 12,000. So I don't have a lot of people on YouTube, but I'm happy you brought this up because I had a conversation with a friend not too long ago where I was somewhat frustrated, if we're being honest. I'm like, why do I have 1 million followers here, a couple 100,000 here, but I have 12,000 on YouTube? But when I thought about it, I'm like, whoa, 12,000 people want to listen to what I have to say on YouTube. That's a lot. If 12,000 people were in front of me, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people, right? If somebody came to me and handed me $12,000, I'd be smiling right now, right? I'd probably hop off a live, and then I'd be like, hey, you give me $12,000, right? So 12,000 is still a lot. So do I deserve more subs? I don't deserve anything. I just have to keep putting out content. But I would like more subscribers, right? But everything will come in due time. If it hasn't come, then it wasn't meant to happen. But I am working on my YouTube content. We're gonna keep putting out great content. Yeah, just give it time. Just give it time. Give it time. It's got an amazing romper. I feel the same. I want to live in it. Yeah. Look, if you feel good, go out there. Like we have to talk about actually feeling good, right? Sometimes we get so accustomed to pain that we feel guilty for feeling good. No, like if you look good, look good. If you feel good, feel good. You know. Oh boy. Oh boy, what a show. Be careful what you ask for. What do you mean? No, look, I would like more subs. I'm trying to build this thing to be as big as possible, right? And I pray that God equips me with the mental headspace and the proper team around me to take care of the growing platforms. So it's okay, man. You'll get 1 million on YouTube someday. Critical Kraken, I appreciate you. Let me do something because this would mean a lot for me, right? So I'm gonna take a picture of this and I'm gonna send it to my publicist and my assistant. I'm looking at the camera so it looks natural, not looking off the side. It's okay, man. You'll get 1 million on YouTube one day. I'm gonna right here. All right, let me get that. Got smile so I can get ready for it. Right. That was totally an influence. That was fake, right? So I did that right there. So I took a screenshot of it. You'll get 1 million on YouTube someday. I'm gonna send it to my team, and then I'm gonna get them to send me this back when I hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, right? And at that point, I'm gonna find you, Critical Kraken. I'm gonna find you, and I have a gift for you. I got a gift for you. So that's a little personal goal of my own. So I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get to 1 million. I will find you. Watch. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but my content will get better, and I will get 1 million. I will get 1 million. Um. Y'all want the dance? Y'all want the dance? All right. Okay. Let me give y'all the dance real quick, and then I gotta and then read some more comments. Right. So go 1, 2, and you go like that. Oh boy, y'all love the dance. Ayla, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. Watch. It's coming soon. So I don't stress out about numbers, because that's not a good way to stress out, right? Now I look at videos to see how they perform, but to be like, this many subs, that's a form of comparison, right? You could take some mental health therapist who has 1 million on YouTube. They deserve it, right? But I'm doing things my way. I have my skits, I have my videos, I have my lane. So as long as I keep working with that, I feel like something that something's gonna something gotta give. Critical Kraken, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. When I head to the gym after this, I'm gonna be thinking about, Critical Kraken was boosting me up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And Nick Cannon says, if you look good, you feel good, therefore you do good. Yeah. And also Nick Cannon, at some point, I can't wait for the part where you start to meet people who were helpful for you in your journey. So when I came to LA 2 years ago for a TikTok event, and I got to meet Nick Cannon, just listen to him speak, it gave me a lot of confidence. So, when I meet Nick Cannon again, I will tell him that Janet referenced him on a Facebook Live. He'll be like, I don't know who Janet is, but I appreciate that. Oh boy. Look at this question right here. Is Kojo single? Will I ever answer this question? Huh? Will I ever? So we've reached we've reached the part of the show where we're just bullshitting and having a good time, right? So Brianna says, is Kojo single? Is Ayla on here? Ayla is OG. Can Ayla answer this question? Is Ayla on here? Is Ayla on here? Can Ayla answer this question? If Ayla is not on here, then if Ayla's not here, then we don't get answer this question. So this stream is up to Ayla. Ayla's not here, so you can't answer the question. I guess we'll never know, right? Like Kanye West said. Lauren, I appreciate you. Do you take fan mail? I do take fan mail. What's my PO box address? PO box address. Actually, no. Let me see. I'm actually gonna drop my business address. This is not my home address, y'all. So you don't have to worry about a security risk or anything like that. Laurel Canyon Boulevard. I posted this address a while back to ask for fan mail, and somebody was like, "Oh no, Dr. Kojo, you put your home address online for millions of people to see." No, it's not my home address. This is not my home address. Trust me. All right, let me drop my business address for those of y'all who want to send fan mail and things like that. Right. I'm actually gonna go check my mail later on this week. Let's see, 1472 Studio City, California 91604. I didn't have a dream. No, okay. Like I said, nah. Forget these shows be live, right? You can't say everything. But this is my address right here, y'all. My business address. If y'all want to send any type of fan mail, any letters, anything, I do check it, periodically. So I will. If you send something to me, I will see it. So if you feel so inclined and you want to, that's the address to send something to me. Um, let me see. Uh, boy. Let me answer this real quick. And then I do have to hit the gym. You don't look like you have confidence issues, Maria. I I don't want to make things look too perfect on social media, and it's funny because I was in a podcast. It wasn't mine. Somebody was hosting it, and I was a guest, and we are talking about like this thing, confidence and social media and all this stuff. And I said that when I make videos, I pay attention to lighting, I pay attention to angles. Like when I got my current place, the condo that I live in, I got this place, and I probably pay more because I wanted something that's like aesthetically pleasing, for my content. So I want my content to look a certain way, right? But then I know on the podcast I was saying that yes, I do this stuff when I go live on IG, Facebook, TikTok. I'll tell people like what's really going on, or I'll really tell them that, oh, like I messed up the kitchen, or this is dirty, or blah blah blah, or I had pimples here and there. So because of how content is, like like I'm getting into filmmaking in a sense. I have a documentary that'll be coming out in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So things have to look a certain way, but no, it doesn't mean that I'm always confident. Sometimes I might wake up and I don't know, like I might wake up anxious. I just don't have it. I did a TV interview the other day, and for some reason I couldn't get my words out, and like it was live, and I was sitting there like, and I answered her question, and I was waiting for her to like be like, "Oh, that was such a great point, Dr. Sarfo," and she's like, and then she moved on to the next question, and in my head, I'm like, like, I said a 4-letter word in my head. I'm like, damn, I didn't answer that. I wasn't as eloquent as I wanted to be. But yeah, confidence is like a daily thing, and I'm posting every day online, so that helps my confidence. If I take a 2 month break and I go, I go back home to West Africa, and I come and I want to make videos again, it's gonna be very awkward for me. I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be tough to do that. Um, uh, Ayla, you keep making this stream go longer. I'm thinking about getting another dog. I'm really thinking about it. And you know what? If you ask me right now, I will say that I will get another dog, but I'll let you all like help me out with the process, like looking to foster a dog, all this other stuff. But I'm leaning towards getting another dog, and I actually have a name. I have a possible name for the dog. Um, a possible name for the dog. Perfect is boring. I agree. How do you deal with negative comments on your content? Empathy. Let me address this real quick. So, Daniel, whenever I get negative comments on my content, yeah, I mean, I do have empathy for the person, and I'm like, why? I'm like, how? Like, what's going on in their life for them to come to my video and leave this negative comment, right? At this point, I do have empathy and I feel for people, but I'm much quicker to like block. I block really fast. If you catch my TikTok live, I'll just like I used to read the comments and then block. I'll just block you. I'll just block. Somebody come and drop an N word, or I'll block you. I just block you. I don't have space for it. Because sometimes if you leave a comment there, sometimes my followers will come in and like they will start to like defend me. No, don't talk about culture. And I'm like, I'd rather just delete that comment than to have to like stay on it, right? And sometimes I will read some comments and I'll be like, why? Not that they have a comment, but any comment that like freezes me or I get paralyzed, I'm like, what? And one thing that is hard for me to do, because like I like to interact with you all in the comments. Like I really want to like interact, on my posts as much as possible. So I want to do that. But like as the numbers get bigger, it becomes harder to comment on everything. So sometimes I feel like, oh, am I being authentic? But I'm like, I can't get to like 300,000 people, right? 300K here and then millions elsewhere. So I get to the comments I can get to. There'll be some negative comments that I never see. If I see a negative comment, and it could derail the conversation, or it can take away from the intention of the post, I just block you, and I just go about living my day. And shout out to Facebook, a special shout out to Facebook because they have a feature that I hope all other platforms would adopt. Because I blocked somebody on Facebook yesterday, right, or today. They left some comment. I'm like, either way, I'm not gonna repeat the comment, but it kind of pissed me off a little bit. But I'm like, Kojo, spend no time on this. So I blocked them immediately, right? So I actually have the screenshot. I'm not gonna show you their name because I'm not messy, but I had the screenshot. Let me find the screenshot because I like what Facebook said. So and I mean I know I have a different type of Facebook account, and my security might be a little stronger because they gave me that feature. So thank you, Facebook. I really appreciate that. I enjoy making content here. But I blocked this person, right? And then at the bottom of the thing it says block, had their name, right? So two options: block the person, and then the second option is block that person and new profiles they may create. I love that feature because sometimes on other platforms you'll block somebody and they'll come right back with another account with like a SpongeBob picture, and I have to block them again. I don't have time to block you multiple times. I want to block so that way I can uh I block so I can live my life because I'm a human being too, right? And things that are said online they do affect me. But like if you all if somebody's talking shit about me, I'm like, whatever, but for somebody to say something about like my family members, right? Or a significant other, let's say I post a lady online one day, right? Maybe never, but let's say I do that. It will hurt me for people to be going in on her and, or going in talking about my family members. Cause then I'm gonna look for the super block button, right? Cause then I want to super block you. That's a joke. But normally, if it's directed towards me, like I don't really care. Like I probably get a lot of hate comments. I just can't see them all. But if it's like my loved ones and family members, like I don't really like play that. Nobody really plays that. But I don't want to even like entertain that type of energy. Josh, yeah, I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you, my guy. I appreciate you. And Brianna, Brianna, it's funny that you say this because I just got this DJI little device, right? It helps you vlog. And I did a vlog today because I went to the studio to record this ADHD song, and I did a vlog today. So I actually will put it out here. If y'all want to see vlogs and see more of my life, I'll definitely start to put that out there. I don't know, what you all may or may not want to see, but we'll see. I recorded the footage anyway. So I might start getting into the vlogs again. Because I used to vlog back in the day on YouTube. I could never stay consistent with it. So that's why like consistency is, we talk about routine and consistency. Those are key for your mental health. So by me going live on Facebook, this platform, and being consistent, obviously I'm connecting with y'all, but just doing this every single day is good for my self-esteem because like I'm on it. I'm here. Like this is a priority. I have to do this because I said I have to do it, right? So because I said I have to do it, now I need to execute on that and do it. So yeah. All right, y'all. So gotta crack my neck a little bit. Don't recommend y'all do that. But yeah, that was a good live stream, talking about, Dysmorphia, self-esteem, social media. We got one more show for the week, right? Because tomorrow is Thursday. So we got one more show for the week. And I can't wait to see you all there. And oh yeah. I made an ADHD song. Y'all will get all this in time, right? But yeah, I'm excited to hear you all's feedback to the song. Maybe like it, maybe don't. The song is done. I sent it to Lil Bro to put his verse on it, and then we're gonna turn into a music video. And I got an idea of the theme, so you all stay tuned for that. It's gonna be super dope. So yeah, until tomorrow, you all take care, be safe. Have a good night. If you're on the East Coast, it's about 11 o'clock out there. It's 8 o'clock for those of us here in California. But this is a super dope live, and I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. So peace.